Ferrari may have wrapped up the Austrian Grand Prix with a podium and reclaimed second place in the Constructors' Championship, but not everything went as smoothly as the headlines suggest. Beneath the surface, cracks are beginning to show, especially in the relationship between Lewis Hamilton and the Ferrari pit wall. A tense radio exchange during the race revealed growing frustration from the seven-time world champion. While Hamilton delivered a solid result, the road to the checkered flag was anything but easy. Starting fourth on the grid at the 2025 Austrian Grand Prix, Hamilton followed Ferrari's trusted two-stop strategy. But with just 20 laps left, tension bubbled over. The team called him in for what should have been a routine final pit stop, yet Hamilton wasn't convinced. What followed was a back-and-forth over team radio that exposed Hamilton's doubts about the strategy. He wanted to stretch his stint. Ferrari, on the other hand, leaned on data to make the call. From the outside, it looked like a tactical disagreement, but it ran deeper than that. Hamilton had a clean launch off the line, holding his position through a chaotic opening lap that saw contact between Kimi Antonelli and Max Verstappen. As the field settled, a McLaren pulled ahead while Ferrari's Charles Leclerc and Hamilton locked into third and fourth. His first stop aligned with the McLarens and Leclerc, and by lap 45 he was running steadily in fourth. With Leclerc 7 seconds ahead and Russell more than 20 seconds behind, Hamilton found himself in a comfortable window until Ferrari threw the curveball. When he was promoted to third after others pitted, Ferrari almost immediately asked him to box again. Hamilton pushed back, saying his tires felt fine, and questioning if his lap times were really falling off. Ferrari insisted the stop was necessary to optimize race time. The radio exchange captured the moment vividly. LH, is my pace really bad? Because the tires are fine. Ferrari, we box now for the fastest optimal race. LH, the tires are okay. Can I extend? How many more laps left? Ferrari, box, 20 laps left. LH, I don't want to stop. 20 laps left? Despite his resistance, Hamilton ultimately complied. But when he rejoined, he was stuck in no man's land, too far from Leclerc to mount a challenge and comfortably ahead of Russell, with no real action left in the race. It's not the first time Ferrari's strategy has been called into question. In Canada, Leclerc was visibly frustrated when the team overruled his call for a one-stop approach. In Miami, Hamilton was the one challenging orders, asking the team to instruct Leclerc to move aside as he felt he had more pace. The tension is clear. And in Austria, Hamilton also revealed he was battling issues with the SF25's balance throughout the 70-lap race, a struggle that didn't show on the timing sheets but defined his afternoon. Despite the frustrations, there were silver linings. Leclerc's podium and Hamilton's season-matching P4 finish suggest Ferrari is gaining ground slowly but surely. For Hamilton, it was déjà vu from Imola, where he also finished fourth. But familiar problems remain. Once again, brake issues plagued his performance, denying him a chance to fully capitalize on Ferrari's pace. Still, he made his mark early in the race, with a brilliant move to reclaim his position from former teammate George Russell after losing out at turn 1, a moment he later described as pretty awesome. Speaking after the race, Hamilton reflected, "Great start. A great battle with George, from turn 1 through turn 3 all the way to turn 6. Managed to hold on to it on the outside, which is pretty awesome. After that, the car didn't feel too bad. I was able to hold on for a second, but then I was really struggling with the balance, and we had brake issues." Hamilton ultimately crossed the finish line 9 seconds behind his Ferrari teammate Charles Leclerc. But after the race, the headlines weren't about lap times, they were about the ongoing issues Hamilton continues to battle in his new red suit. He opened up about the lingering problems that have haunted him throughout the season, particularly the brake complications that continue to drain his pace when it matters most. Despite his switch from Mercedes to Ferrari, it's clear the 7-time world champion is still trying to find his footing. One of the biggest hurdles? Braking. Hamilton is still adjusting to Ferrari's Brembo system after years of working with Mercedes' carbon industry setup, and it hasn't been easy. He admitted that the transition hasn't come naturally and that it's costing him precious performance. I'm having to manage these brakes really early on, which is definitely losing some time, he said bluntly. That's something I'm really pushing to get fixed, because that's not great. But the brakes aren't the only thing giving him trouble. Hamilton also highlighted ongoing balance issues with the SF25 challenges that are making every stint more difficult than it looks on paper. He's spoken out more than once this season about the unpredictability of the braking system, even comparing it to a game of chance. We roll the dice, he said. You put one set of brakes on and it works, and you put another on and it doesn't. In a bid to find more consistency, Hamilton revealed he's been moving closer to adopting Charles Leclerc's preferred setup. It's a bold move, especially considering it involves more oversteer, something Hamilton isn't typically comfortable with. Still, he's willing to adapt if it means finding answers. Set up even closer to Charles? Yeah, he said. He drives a massively oversteering car somehow, slides the rear so it doesn't have degradation. When I slide the rear, I get massive degradation. It's definitely something I think you have to get used to. Supposedly, it took Carlos a couple of years to get used to. I don't want to do that. Despite these hurdles, the Austrian Grand Prix represented a step forward. Hamilton has been honest about the fact that he's still trailing Leclerc in outright pace, but there's growing optimism. With one of his strongest finishes of the season and small signs of progress, he's heading into his home race at Silverstone with a renewed sense of determination. I think we've moved forwards, Hamilton said. The upgrade was quite small, so we didn't really know. They didn't even mention any time because it was that small. But I think perhaps it was a bigger result from putting the floor on. That's the real positive. It's pretty great to see the team bringing the upgrade. He went on to say, we've been the second fastest this weekend. Third and fourth is a real positive. There are lots of good things to take from the weekend and lots of areas to focus on. Qualifying was better. We found a problem I had in my last qualifying lap, which cost me a 10th. There was some issue on the car, so that's again a positive result. But I would have gone backwards if I had started second, so I've got to find race pace. That's key. But here's the real question. Is Ferrari's apparent progress a genuine turning point or just a temporary mask covering deeper issues within the team? Let me know what you think in the comments below. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and tap the notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching.